So I've been wanting to talk about motivation for a while, and mostly because I've always struggled with motivation. I've never felt like a very motivated person. I'm usually, I describe myself as lazy and a procrastinator. I tend to go through the motions and just do the bare minimums and things like that. So that's the way I describe myself. I was always surrounded by people who were highly motivated, though. My family's highly motivated. I was in 4-H growing up and pretty active, mostly because my parents made me. but there's a lot of highly motivated people in 4-H, or there's quite a few, and we always had motivational speakers, and I never could figure out why I wasn't getting motivated. We'd hear a motivational speaker, and I'd get kind of pumped up. Ooh, this is slurpy. And I'd get kind of pumped up, and then for like a day and a half, I'd be really motivated to go do stuff. But after that, I would just kind of fall back into my normal habits and things. So I always just thought that I was just lazy, that I was unmotivated. Which I am, and that's kind of the point. So how do you get motivated? And I don't know that I have any hard answers for that, but after a few years, the last decade I've been better, and I don't know why I've been better. I still am not really all that motivated. I still have days that I'm fighting motivation and the desire to do the things I know I need to do. And at work and at home and all that kind of stuff. But it seems I can do better a lot of times, even though I don't feel motivated. So after doing some thinking, it seems to me that motivation isn't really what is necessary. Motivation isn't really what's important. It seems to me that the important thing is just making a decision. A good decision, and that's pretty consistent with the rest of the world. For instance, an example that I use, or an analogy that I'll use, is marriage. In a marriage, most people think that you fall in love with somebody and you're just in love, and you fall in love, you get married, everything's awesome. And the truth is that that's not the way it works, and that's not really what love is. Love, or they think that love is a feeling that you get, just like motivation. So you fall in love and it's a feeling, you feel great about this person, you get married, you live happily ever after. That's why there's a lot of divorces, is because people don't really get what love is, because love is commitment, and commitment is a decision to be committed. Basically, I'm just throwing out my ideas. I don't know if these are actual definitions, or if the psychology is backing me up necessarily, but that's basically what it is. You make the decision to be committed, and if you've truly made that decision to be committed, then there's the feeling of love, yes, but that feeling is sort of, it comes and goes, and that decision to be committed should stay there. That should always be there. And that's kind of the way I feel about motivation. It's not, the feeling of motivation is going to come and go, and for me, it's gone more than it's here. For some people that seem highly driven by money or power or just learning things, some people are just driven. I'm not. So I have to make these good decisions each and every day, and I've noticed that if I do make a decision to get up and go work on something, then usually I can get up and go work on it. Once I've made that decision and actually taken the action to go do something, then I'm all good. At least for some period of time, until I get to a stopping point, and then I've got to make the decision again the next day. That's my idea of motivation. It's not It's not just a feeling, and if you're waiting around on the feeling, it's never going to happen. At least for me, it never happened. I never really felt motivated until I started doing stuff, and then once I started in on a project, I was motivated for a time to keep working on that project. The real trick for me is now is staying into that project, because the motivation's not really there. I start doing the project, I get to a stopping point, I set it down. I may not pick it up again unless I'm really diligent to go out and make the decision to do it again. So anyway, hopefully that makes sense. Motivation is not as important as just making good decisions. And just like love isn't just a feeling, motivation isn't just a feeling. They're both making decisions or making commitments to do something, to do a good thing, to make a strong decision for something or to do something and stick with it. That's basically what those are, and that's within your power. That's the beautiful thing. You know, I spent most of my life thinking that I was just doomed for failure, and that I was just unmotivated and unworthy of having success. And that's not true, you know, and it's not true at all, because you can make the decision to do things, and that's it, you know, and then you can go do them, and you're going to fail, and you're going to suffer from, you're not going to be that motivated anymore because you failed, but it's within your power to go do things.